Hello, welcome to the 2020 National Unity Conference. Although we're unable to meet face-to-face, I have much gratitude for the opportunity to discuss methods on protecting your financial information virtually. I hope you find this information useful and that you can apply it to your everyday financial needs. My name is Angel Villa Velasquez. I am Otam Pima from the Gila River Indian Community located in Zacatán, Arizona. Currently, I work for Bank of America. I've been employed with them since 2002. I'm also a part of the Native American Professional Network with Bank of America, which I would like to say I, along with the members of the Native American Professional Network with Bank of America, wish you and your family well during this unprecedented time. Today, we're going to discuss the Better Money Habits website. Bank of America has partnered with Khan Academy to create a series of education over financial and banking needs of the consumers. There is a vast variety of information that you can access there, whether it is on tips on how to save. Maybe you're getting your first checking account, checks and balances, or you're looking to plan to purchase a home in the near future. There's something on that website for each and every person depending on where they fall on their financial needs. So we will look at two videos today from the website. At the end of the presentation, I will include the website. That way, if you want to go back at any time and reference the videos that we reviewed today, along with additional materials, presentations and videos, you will be able to do that. Okay. So first I want to start off with, I'd like everyone to just take a moment and think about why it's important to keep your financial information protected. Okay, hopefully that was enough time to think of one or two reasons on why it's important to keep your financial information protected. In this day and age, it's very different. So we do everything pretty much online or over the phone. We use cash, debit cards, credit cards to make those everyday type purchases. Well, there was a time when it was more common for an individual to go to their local banking center, meet their personal banker that they have that relationship with, and meet them to go over their monthly activity and do their checks and balances. What was also the norm at one time was using checks to pay for everyday purchases, such as the grocery store. I think about the last time, if ever, depending on your age, if you've seen someone pay for their groceries with a handwritten check. It's not something that we commonly see presently. So with that, additionally, we also rely on a wealth of different apps, at different websites, just to do our day-to-day activities, whether it is our banking, whether it is keeping in contact with friends, whether it's social media. We're definitely utilizing that source of technology more than ever. All right. So presently, like I said, there are many consumers that they take advantage of online banking. I know that some may like to use Zelle. Many of the major financial institutions offer Zelle. I know it comes in handy. You're having lunch with a friend and you have the ability to transfer them funds. That way you guys can pay with one debit card or credit card. All right. So going back to protecting your financial information, it's important to protect your financial information because if this information gets into the wrong hands, it someone can possibly commit fraud on your account, or even worse, you may become a victim of identity theft. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch the first video, which does go over some key aspects to protect your financial information. Give me just one moment and I'll get that going for you. Okay, so we do have that video in queue.
Two tickets to Paris, a week at a very fancy hotel. Oh, and dinner and fine wine to match. Ooh la la, what a vacation. The only problem? You've never been anywhere near France, but a credit card with your name on it has been. It looks like you might be one of the millions of Americans who've experienced fraud or identity theft. But even if it's never happened to you, it's always good to know how to protect yourself. Just a few decades ago, credit card fraud and identity theft were things that people rarely thought about. But today, there's a greater risk we could end up as victims. What's more, identity theft costs businesses and consumers billions of dollars each year. And that doesn't even include credit card fraud. Before we get into protecting yourself, let's talk about what differentiates fraud from outright identity theft. An example of fraud is when someone uses your credit card to make purchases. And while the charges for a new laptop that you've never bought are nothing to sneeze at, they pale in comparison to what a stolen identity can do to your life. Identity theft is a little more complex. It's someone pretending to be you who has somehow gotten hold of your personal data, like your social security number, birthday, or passwords, and has the intention of passing himself off as you. A thief will use your name and other information to commit fraud by opening up credit cards and loans in your name. They may even commit other crimes and use your name when they get caught. It's not hard to see why having your identity stolen can be a disaster for your finances, your credit, and even your good name. So, what can you do? A lot more than you think. While there is no way to keep your information completely safe, there are many things you can do to protect yourself from both the high-tech thieves and the guys picking through your trash. Here are 10 tips to consider adding to your own strategies. 1. Check your credit report. The 3 major credit bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, will give you a free credit report once a year if you request it. Take advantage of this to watch for accounts you've never opened and check activity on accounts you haven't used in a while. And the accounts you do use, watch your credit card account activity closely and check your bank statements often. Because the earlier you spot suspicious activity, the easier it will be to clean up. 2. Be unique. Take the time to create different passwords for all of your accounts. The idea is to create a system that's easy for you to remember, but impossible for others to guess. Here's one way to do it. Start by choosing a word you associate with the site you're on. So if it's where you buy books, take the main character from a novel you love and pair it with your favorite color and the model or year of your first car. You can even make it harder for someone to crack by adding capital letters, symbols, using words that aren't in the dictionary, or making it a sentence. Oh, and one more thing. When it comes to usernames, make sure they're not obvious like your name or email, and avoid using your social security number whenever you can. 3. Mind your mailbox. Believe it or not, your mailbox can be a big threat to your financial security. Don't give thieves the opportunity to steal pre-approved credit card applications or those blank checks that come with credit card statements. And if you typically put outgoing mail in your mailbox, stop. A trip to the post office can prevent someone from stealing checks you've written to your creditors. Oh, speaking of the post office, it's a common tactic for thieves to reroute and steal mail by filling out change of address forms. So if you notice your mail service being interrupted, contact the post office right away. 4. Shred your trash. They're out there dumpster diving and trash picking. They're even raiding your garbage can and recycling bin, looking for social security numbers and account information. So buy a shredder and make it more challenging for them to get the goods on you. 5. Get smarter about being social. Okay, I know that times have changed, and social media has made it easy to get in touch with everyone. But putting every little detail about your life out there for the world to see gives the bad guys an advantage. You need to make it harder for thieves to answer personal questions about you. Stuff like your mom's maiden name, where you went to grammar school, or even your pet's name can help them figure out or reset your passwords. Even your birth date is something you should keep to yourself, because it's a key piece of information someone needs to steal your identity. And those geotagged photos, well, they can make it awfully easy to find out where you live. So keep your personal information personal. 6. Be wary of strangers. Be suspicious of people who contact you looking for information. If someone calls or emails you from a bank, credit card company, collection agency, government agency, or just anywhere, don't give them your personal information. Tell them you'll call their 1-800 number and hang up. Never ever give out bank account numbers, your birth date, or social security number to anyone who reaches out to you. And that email from a long-lost relative about your big inheritance, or a notice about lottery money you've won? Yeah, that's probably a phishing scam looking for your information. 7. Look for the lock. If you're shopping online, be sure the address begins with HTTPS. The S tells you the site is secure. And don't forget to look for the little lock icon in the browser before you enter any payment information. 8. Build your fortress. Well, build a digital fortress around your devices anyway. It's important to maintain antivirus and anti-malware software on your computer, tablet, and smartphone. And when updates are pushed out, install them as quickly as you can. Oh, you should also avoid keeping all your financial info on your computer, and decline when a browser asks to remember your password on a financial site. 9. Secure yourself. Whether using your home Wi-Fi or a computer at the library, you need to take steps to secure your info. Start by password protecting your home's network. And when you log in on the go, especially to any of your financial accounts, don't do it on an open network. No! Like the free one at your favorite coffee shop. And if you're using a shared computer, be sure to clear all your personal information when you log out. And 10. Enlist help. Sign up for alerts from your bank or credit card company to notify you when there is suspicious activity on your account. Well, there you have it. Add these steps together, and you've got a great jump on safeguarding your financial information. While there is no surefire way to keep it 100% safe, these basic tips can make you a tougher target for the bad guys. So the next time you see charges from a European adventure, well, you should have some fabulous memories to go along with them.
From the video, you can see the importance of protecting your financial information. There's many ways as consumers we can do our due diligence to ensure that that information is safe and doesn't fall into the wrong hands. So just to recap, we'll go over a few of the tips that were provided in the video. So 1, use strong passwords. I know that we have a multitude of websites and apps that we use, and it's very tempting to use the same password for each one, so it's easy to remember, but really it's best practice to have different passwords for each website and also to make them unique, such as the video suggested, utilizing capital letters, lowercase letters, numbers, and special characters if you're able to. Also, do not use anything that's identifiable, such as your social security number or date of birth. You want to stay away from that. Secondly, watch what you share online. We are in an environment of sharing with everyone kind of what's going on with our life, and often it's just done innocently, not thinking about the information that we share online may get into the wrong hands and can be used to commit some type of fraud. Great example in the video is sharing our date of birth. So someone now has access to our date of birth. We may not think much of that. Also posts like, for example, let's just say next week I get to go visit my mother's hometown. So on social media, I put how excited I am that I get to travel to Phoenix, Arizona, or New Mexico, or whatever state, to go see my mother's hometown. At that point, we're putting it out there, and that's just information that we don't really need to share. Also ensure that your phone is secured. So don't think it was mentioned on the video, but I do highly suggest if you do your banking or any type of bills on your phone, just to ensure either you have a password to get to your phone, or you have to log in to each one of those apps or websites if you don't have a password on your phone, but make sure that you don't have like the auto lock-in where you have to actually put the password in to log on to your banking, etc. And what I think was great that the video mentioned is to keep your technology up to date. So whether it's software, as soon as you receive that message that there's software that needs to be updated, immediately update it for your protection. And also if you're using your laptop or your personal computer, to ensure that you have all of the malware and antivirus software up to date. Wonderful. So we had an opportunity to talk about fraud and somewhat, identity theft. Now we talked about ways to prevent those two things from happening. So let's say you do all of your due diligence, you follow the tips, but it still happens. Now we'll go a little bit further about what are the actions that you can take if you're put in a situation where you have fraud on one of your accounts or you experience identity theft. So let me go ahead and cue up that video for you.
Identity theft isn't just a case of account fraud where someone steals your credit card information. When your identity is stolen, a criminal can use your social security number to get a job, rent an apartment, or even take out a loan. And do it all in your name. In some cases, criminals are even filing tax returns in victims' names and taking their tax refunds. A victim of identity theft could go months before they even notice that something strange is going on. The tip-off could be a past due notice in the mail or a phone call from a collection agency about debt that isn't theirs. By that point, a lot of damage could have been done. If you notice something wrong, the most important thing is to act quickly. Identity theft is becoming pretty common, but it's still a hard crime for authorities to track, so most victims have to be very proactive in getting their identity back under their control. Think about it this way. You're going to be your own best detective on the case. So let's go through the steps you'll need to take to get your finances and credit back under your control. The first step to take as soon as you suspect identity theft is to file what's called an initial fraud alert with a credit reporting agency. Businesses have to check your credit report to open new lines of credit. So if they see there's a fraud alert on your report, they may try to contact you to verify your identity before doing so, which will make it harder for a criminal to open a new account in your name. To file an alert, you can call one of the 3 major credit reporting agencies, Experian, Equifax, or TransUnion, and tell a representative that you're an identity theft victim and want to place an initial fraud alert on your file. It actually doesn't matter which one you call, because whichever one you choose is required to notify the other 2. It's free, and the alert will stay on your account for 90 days. For even more protection, you might also want to put a credit freeze on file with all 3 credit reporting agencies. A credit freeze means that no creditors, like a bank or a business that offers store credit cards, can look at your report without your permission. This can make it harder for a criminal to open a new account in your name. You can lift a credit freeze at any time, or lift it temporarily so someone you authorize can look at your report. In most states, setting up a credit freeze is often free for victims of identity theft, or there may be a small fee, $10 or so. The length of a freeze also varies by state. You can visit your state's Attorney General's office website for more details. To request a credit freeze, you'll need to contact each of the 3 credit reporting agencies. After you've set up an initial fraud report and put a credit freeze on file as well, the next step is to start going through your credit reports. Your initial fraud report allows you to get free access to your credit reports from the 3 credit reporting agencies. Contact each one for instructions on how to get a copy of your report. You can also do this when you set up your credit freeze. Look over each report carefully and note any detail that isn't yours. Then, before you dig into the problems you may find, you'll want to file an identity theft report to let federal and local authorities know about the crime. The report will help you get fraudulent info removed from your credit report and can stop businesses and collection agencies from coming after you for debts that aren't yours. Filing an identity theft report is a 2-part process. First, You can file a report with the Federal Trade Commission. That's the government agency that looks out for consumers and helps protect them from fraud. You can do this online at ftccomplaintassistant.gov. Once you complete the report online, you'll get an FTC identity theft affidavit, which you can print for your records. Then you'll need to file a police report. You can do this in person at your local police precinct, or you may be able to do this online. It's a good idea to call ahead to see what kind of documents you'll need to bring with you to the station to prove your identity and complete the report. Once you make your report, ask for a copy and record the police report number. Your FTC identity theft affidavit and your police report together make a complete identity theft report. Now that you're armed with your identity theft report, you're ready to take on each fraudulent item you found in your credit report. For each fraud, you'll need to file a dispute with the fraud department of each credit reporting agency and contact any lenders or collection agencies involved. This part of the process can mean a lot of phone calls, and in some cases, it can take a lot of time. It's a good idea to keep a written record of each call you make, noting the date and time, as well as the name of each person you speak with and any instructions they give you so you can take the next steps. The FTC also has many helpful resources for this part of the process, like checklists and instructions for how to dispute different claims at ftc.gov. At this point, you can also place an extended fraud alert on file with each of the credit reporting agencies. An extended fraud alert is free and lasts for 7 years. It will allow you to get 2 free copies of your credit report each year, so you can keep on top of any new suspicious activity. And one more thing. There are more credit reporting agencies than just the big 3. There are also many smaller local or regional ones that could have reports of other fraudulent activity in your name. So it's a good idea to check your local listings for other agencies and file fraud alerts with them as well. Getting your life and your credit score back after an identity theft can be a challenge. Guarding your personal information carefully, especially your Social Security number, can help you avoid identity theft in the future.
So from that video, you can gather that identity theft, it's not just someone stealing your credit card, debit card, or account information. It is someone having access to your personal information, and they're able to commit fraud that way. Now, during the COVID-19 epidemic that's going on globally, there has been instances that I know I personally watched in the news where there's been fraud with stimulus checks and various other schemes that are out there in order to get consumers to reveal some of their personal information. So we do need to be aware of that and mindful that we are protecting all of that information. Also, so with your personal information, not only can someone take over your existing accounts that you have that you personally set up, but they can also open up credit cards, lines of credit with your information, and you may not even know for months until either you receive some type of past due notice. So I would highly suggest that take advantage each year, pull your annual credit report. It is free. Now some may be thinking, but I don't have credit cards, I don't use credit, why would I pull my credit report in that case? But it's important to pull it at least once a year. That way you can make sure that everything on there is accurate. You don't want to let it go for a couple of years and then all of a sudden it pops up and you find out that you've had a loan on there and it's past due and it's a loan that you did not open up. Unfortunately, it is common, it does happen. The fortunate part of it is that there are steps to take that if it happens to you and you experience fraud or identity theft, there are the steps that we just watched in the video that by taking those steps, you can get your finances cleared up if it impacts your credit score, There's a way to contact the credit bureaus, place fraud alerts on your account, and so forth. All right. Well, this brings us to the conclusion of the presentation. I genuinely hope you found the videos and the content of the information provided informative and useful. Please check out the Better Money Habits website. Again, at the end of this video, I will go ahead and update, I'll provide the website and then also my contact information. So don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions over the information that we reviewed today. Please feel free to contact me at angel.villavelasquez@bofa.com. And again, I'll go ahead and post that that way if you want to jot it down. Well, thank you for listening today. I'm glad I had this opportunity to share about protecting your financial information and the action steps to take in the event that there is fraud or you experience identity theft. I wish you peace, strength, and good health to you and your families. Take care.